Hi guys, Master Indigo here, and welcome back to my series Long Talk. Today we actually aren't really talking about Payday that much, because last time we only spoke about Payday, so this episode, the second episode, is going to be about Raid WW2, which is actually upcoming video game from Lion Studio, who are mostly ex-Overkill, and they have done bomb heists as well as flamethrower, car driving, parachuting, and other mechanics in Payday 2. So yeah, Raid WW2 will be a co-op game just like Payday, 4 players. And in this episode, I'm going to be mostly talking everything we already know about the game and what I'd like to see in the game or in the game's lifespan. In the background, I have some gameplay which is already quite old. I think it's from E3 2016, so that might be a little bit different from what the game is actually now, so that doesn't currently represent how the game might be whenever it launches. I think the planned launch is going to be summer 2017, so maybe 6, 7, 8 months from now, whenever this video goes live, so we still have quite a bit time. But yeah, from the game perspective, as you can see, it does look kinda similar to Payday 2, and that's mostly because it is running the same game engine, so it will be running Diesel Engine 2.0 or whatever. They have made some upgrades, at least that is something that I said, but in the deepest down they are using the Diesel engine, so we will know already that there are going to be some desync problems, mostly in the same degree that Payday 2 has, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But Lion has worked with Diesel engine before in Payday 2 and Payday the Heist, some of the developers, so that's mostly why they chose to use Diesel engine. They are familiar with it, so it's actually really easy for them to actually make a new game on top of that. So on the background you can see some demo gameplay from E3, as I already said, so I'm not sure how long this video is going to be yet, but anyways, I think it's about 10 minutes of gameplay we have seen, so I'm gonna paste that over and over again if this video is going to be longer than 10 minutes, which is quite likely. So I'm not able to comment in real time whatever is shown on the screen, but I do comment on quite a lot that is shown on the gameplay. So unlike Payday 2, where Payday 2 has an armor and health, it has been shown that in Raid WW2 we only see like health bar and no armor at all. Whenever you lose your health, you will not regen that, and you actually have to pick up health kits, health packs, whatever, and enemies drop health kits as well as ammunition. And unlike Payday, it's not automatic. Whenever you run over it, you are going to pick up ammunition. I think you have to press your interaction key in order to pick up ammunition or health kits and maybe some other things that they might drop. I think they may also drop grenades, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've seen the gameplay and anything else. There have been also kind of like shelves that have ammos, grenades, health packs, kind of like in Biker Heist, the bunker in Payday 2, something like that. There are ammos, health packs, and grenades that you can pick up, but I think it's a little bit smaller scale. There are also going to be a little bit secret rooms that are not there every time, so kind of like in Payday the Heist and Payday 2, there are changes to the levels, just like Payday 2 has. Well, as an example, bank heist, the vault might be on different side and so on, camera room might be in different location. That is something we can expect from Raid WW2 as well. Changes to the levels whenever you do it another time, it might be a little bit different. And unlike Payday 2, I think these are going to be called raids instead of heists, even though the gameplay is quite similar, where your goal is mostly to do badass shit, steal shit, destroy shit, and so on. We have also seen back carrying, just like in Payday 2, maybe not back carrying as loot, but at least some explosives. You have to carry packs. At least that is what we have seen in E3 demo last year, so that is going to be most likely in the game. But as I already said, this is something that we are not sure about. It's an old demo and they haven't really released any new gameplay since, and if they do, I will do a video about that. But so far, this gameplay in the background is pretty much the only thing we can relate to, and some interviews which have said some information, but to be fair, there really isn't much information yet. Last comment was that about 3 months ago they released that WW2 would come summer 2017 on Xbox One, PC and PS4, so it's pretty much confirmed that it will have a console release. I think first on E3 last year they only said it would have a PC release, or that was what was planned back then, but maybe some other studio is going to release the console version or something like that. And if you didn't really think from the name, the game is set in Second World War, and it's not supposed to be kind of realistic, more about fun gameplay more than historically accurate and so on, but it's going to be somewhat historically accurate, but gameplay comes on top of that. So in the gameplay video we can also see some lockpicking, which is a little bit more interactive than in Payday 2. It is kind of like a lockpicking minigame in Skyrim, Oblivion and Fallout, but without the fancy screens, so it's kind of turning circle and you have to hit your triangle into a hole that is on a turning cycle, so kind of hard to explain. I'm sure you have seen in the background gameplay already. Just like in Payday 2, there will be AI partners, aka bots, so if you want to play alone, that's a possibility. And just like Payday 2, I don't think the game is going to have so much of a story mode. It's more about different heists, or raids in this case, and what you do between them. But there is a grand story, just like in Payday, which is mostly shown from texts, trailers and so on, and of course from the characters themselves. In Payday 2 we have Bane, and in WW2 we are going to have Mrs. White, who has 4 people helping her, and the mission is mostly to steal Nazi gold and, well, do all bad stuff. And when people asked about story mode in the interview, the answer was, I can't go much into detail, but there will be story arcs which will eventually tie in together, so it's likely that it's mostly same way as Payday 2 trailers, so on, and not actual single player campaign, and it's going to be most likely only set missions that you can play with bots or with your friends or public games and so on. So far we have seen 4 different characters, 1 British, 1 American, 1 German and 1 Russian character, who are named Kurgan, Rivet, Stirling and Wolfgang, so you figure out which is which. It's quite easy to quest, but I'm not going to do that. So just like in Payday 2, Payday 2 had like 4 classes whenever it launched. Fugitive was done later on, so just like Payday 2, Raid World War 2 will have 4 classes, and some weapons will be locked to certain classes, like there will be skill trees, but they haven't actually shown any skill trees, so we don't really know how much and what skills there are going to be. But I've heard from interviews that it's going to be more like every character is going to have more specific role, like one is the healer, one is the damage dealer and so on, unlike in Payday 2 where you take skills from multiple trees. I think that is going to be possible in this game as well, but it is going to be a little bit better if you focus on single tree instead of multiple ones. According to interview video, the classes are Sniper, Assault, Defender and Infiltrator. So you can have multiple profiles just like in Payday 2 and set up multiple characters. I'm not sure if that means you can actually have multiple characters and different characters are going to be on different levels or whatever. So maybe one character is max level and you have to start out with a different character at level 0. So kind of like in Borderlands and not like in Payday 2, but we don't really know, at least not yet. So Demolition Man uses at least shotguns. We don't really know if this is going to be the Assault class, Defender class or Infiltrator. It sounds quite likely that Demolition Man could be Assault class, as he uses explosives and something like shotguns, so that could be a thing, but we don't really know. Every character can choose the same class, so we can have 4 snipers in the game if you want to, but it's not recommended. At least that's what the developers say, but we don't really know. It might be a good strategy, but we have to see more gameplay and actually get our hands on this game before we can actually know which classes are going to be good ones. and I do hope that there's going to be a little bit more gameplay shown before the launch, because it's been quite a long time since this video gameplay that is on the background has been released, so hopefully we get something else before the launch, and I do hope at least 20-30 minutes of gameplay, maybe different missions and so on. As I already said, there will be 4 classes, so it's nice to see some variation. They are going to be a little bit different than Payday 2. I'm not sure if they are going to have a stealth focused character, because they have said there will be stealth. I'm not sure if it's on the same degree as Payday 2, that you can fully stealth missions. Maybe some missions you can, maybe some you can't. From the enemy types that we have seen, most have been basic German Nazi soldiers, and actually there was at least one special enemy shown who has actually a flamethrower, so a little bit different than anything we have seen in Payday 2, so that could be actually quite dangerous character or enemy. But background gameplay is said to be played on baby difficulty, so that everybody can play and actually beat the heists or raids, whatever. So the flamethrower enemy seems to be quite weak in the gameplay, at least on this difficulty. I do hope that on higher difficulties he will have more health or be harder to kill, or maybe if he is actually insane damage dealer, like you can go down pretty much instantly if the flamethrower guy hits you. It's nice that he is weak, but we don't know yet. Many of the German soldiers have been seen with MP40s, because, well, that is one of the most used weapons in by Germany in World War II, so it's nice. But I do hope there is a little bit variation, so not everybody is equipped with same weapon, and I hope not every enemy looks the same as well. Kinda like in Payday 2, there are different enemy types, and they do look a little bit different, so you don't shoot the same enemy over and over again. At least a little bit different. As the game is set in 1940s, the game will have some weapons that are from that time period, and nothing really from well, like modern times. So we have seen at least few weapons. We have seen Thompson, Tommy gun, one weapon that is actually in Payday 2. I think it's called typewriter, submachine gun or something like that in Payday 2. I don't remember, sorry. So that's confirmed to be in Payday Raid World War 2, sorry. I think we saw that one with like a straight magazine instead of like the round magazine. We are not sure if it's going to be primary weapon or secondary weapon, or if there's going to be 2 or 3 weapon slots. I mean, Payday 2 has 2 weapon slots, but Payday the heist had like 3 weapon slots, so maybe this one will have 2 weapon slots like Payday 2 as well, but we don't know. We have also seen MG34, which is actually a mounted weapon in this gameplay, as you can see. There's also a meter, so this weapon can overheat, but I think it has unlimited ammunition unless you actually overheat it, and maybe then you have to like wait few seconds before you can fire again. We have also seen M1 Garand. That's not 100% confirmed, but it really did look like M1 Garand, so that's an American weapon, so maybe that's restricted to the American character or not. I don't know. We have also seen Colt 1911, also a weapon that is in Payday 2, as named Crosskill, so it's a pistol, and it's an old weapon, so even though it's used in modern times as well, it's really great pistol. I love the look of it, so it's nice to have this one as well. We have also seen at least one shotgun weapon, but we are really not sure which model it is, and well, I don't know. We have seen like a potato masher grenade. It has really cool throwing ammunition. Whenever you throw the grenade, the character will actually take out his other hand and count with his fingers how many seconds are they're going to be until the explosion. So that can be quite useful whenever you are cooking the grenades. So when do I throw this, and so on. So as this gameplay is old, we are not really confirmed if we are actually going to have all of these weapons in the full game. Are they going to cut some of these? And as this was quite short list of weapons, I think there will be quite many, and I hope there will be more weapons, maybe like MP44. That's something I'd like to see, MP40 as well, as a usable weapon and not just as enemy weapon. And more about stealth. So as I already said, they did confirm that there will be stealth. It was confirmed in an interview You can do most objectives without killing anyone if you are good enough. That's all they have pretty much stated. There is a stealth class, but not sure if it's limited to that class or not. So the infiltrator skill tree or class is most likely, at least the name sounds like it, it's going to be the stealth character. So maybe he has like silencers as weapons, maybe throwing knives. I don't actually know. I have no idea what that's going to be. But if one of the skill trees or classes is going to be focused on stealth, it's pretty much confirmed. I mean, not confirmed, but there should be something like a silencer, even though they weren't really not as used in back then, 8 years ago or whatever. Even though the game looks really playable, almost finished, even in this gameplay, which is like 7 months old already, I think. I'm not sure. I think even more, maybe 8 months, whatever. It's possible that they didn't really have most missions ready, and they had like core gameplay first, so, and missions later. So it's possible that the game was mostly ready already like year ago, but they are just making missions, polishing the game and so on. I don't know. So that's pretty much all we know. And now I'd like to say something I'd like to see in Payday. WW2, sorry. So, as I already said in the beginning of the video, because this game uses the diesel engine, just like Payday 2, there will be probably desync. But I do hope that just like with mods in Payday 2, that there could be an option to actually reduce the desync with sped up animations or something like that. So maybe instead of having to use mods, the devs could actually input the games, or well, that desync, whatever, that modifications instead of mod, it could be in the base game. So instead of having smooth animations, maybe in options there could be like an option where you can choose reduced desync, and this will like alternate animations or something like that, because desync can ruin lots of plays. Even if you are close by, sometimes game just doesn't work properly. And because the game uses same engine, the movement will be quite similar. At least I hope so. I really like how the characters move in Payday 2. We really don't know if there's going to be any vehicles, cars, whatever you can drive, like in Payday 2. Because if I remember correctly, Lion did make the car driving mechanics in diesel engines, so they are experienced with that. So maybe there could be something like that. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot, there was actually confirmed to be one heist or raid level, whatever mission, where there's going to be a tank. A mission where a tank goes through a level and you have to destroy it. It's kind of like boss level. You have to destroy the tank, but well, I don't know how it's going to be, but that's something they had in planned. So I like the sound of that. Maybe there's going to be RPGs that are not like a loadout weapon that you choose, but they are going to be in the level and you have to pick them up, shoot the tank, and that's it. You have to find another RPG or whatever. Yeah, I do hope kind of that there's not going to be stealth only missions, or because, well, stealth is broken. So if there's going to be stealth, and there's going to be stealth, so let's just have any heist can go loud. And you can do the stealth if you want, but loud every time. That's something I want. Possibility to go loud. If not, well, stealth is fun in Payday 2, but it's not as fun as loud. That's all I say. It's broken mess, even though it's fun. So maybe have the option to actually go loud in every heist and don't have stealth only missions like Shadow Raid, Murky Station in Payday 2. Have the ability to go stealth, but no stealth only. I think I got that already explained. But anyway, about the DLC model. Payday 2 has tons and tons and tons and tons of DLC, as well as microtransactions. Well, not as much as before, because they made the saves free pretty much to open, so it's not as bad anymore. But I don't think weapon skins, at least not in the same way, will fit into Raid World 2. So I'm not sure if they should add microtransactions, at least not in the same way. Not bright colored weapons, nothing like that. And do not restrict, if you add microtransactions, do not restrict like new weapons to be only equipable from microtransactions like recent Call of Duty titles. Make new weapons from DLC. Give them from DLC or free, but do not restrict them under RNG chance. I'm fine with skins, whatever, but don't restrict actual different weapons into RNG drop chance. That I'm not okay with. From the DLC perspective, as I already said, there's tons of DLC for Payday 2, and Payday 2 has a really large audience, so I do expect that some of those audiences from Payday 2 players will buy Raid World War 2, but Raid World War 2 is the first game in this franchise, so it's not going to be as big as Payday 2. I assume. I hope it's going to be big, but I really think it's not going to be as big as Payday 2. Most players already have Payday 2, so Raid World War 2 might be just like a side thing for them. It's only going to be like a bigger DLC for them. Maybe they don't want to buy another game that is quite similar to Payday 2. I mean, it's about stealing stuff, shooting hordes of enemies and so on. So from the main perspective, for most people it's going to look like Payday in World War 2, even if it's a little bit different. At least that's what the devs have said. So yeah, maybe most people will not buy it because it's too similar to Payday 2. Maybe they are just saying it's too expensive as a DLC, why this is not DLC for Payday 2 and so on. I can expect some people are going to say that, so yeah, be careful with that. So I do hope there's going to be DLC for this game as well. I'm fine with the Payday 2 DLC release model because I play the game a lot. I want more content for it, and they have to charge for it. That's fine, I think. But the amount of the DLC, it's a little bit crazy for new players coming up. So they should do what they already did once, a long time ago. Make the price of all DLCs lower. That's what Payday 2 should do. And if Raid World War 2 is going to have 30 DLCs as well, make the older DLC maybe like 1 year after launch half the price, and so it's not going to be like $100 for new players to buy the game and old DLC, because that's not something most people actually want to do. Price for DLCs, I think Payday 2 model is quite fine. $5 for weapons packs, character packs, $7 for heist packs and so on. If you are going to have DLC, I'd rather have a season pass for all the DLC. If you are going to do like 5 DLCs in total, have a season pass. But if you are going to make same amount of DLCs like Payday 2, your season pass would be just too expensive and it would look like pretty stupid. So maybe it's not best idea to have Payday 2 way of DLCs, at least not announce it. We don't know how many DLCs this will have. In the base case scenario, a little bit less than Payday 2, but still, I'm fine with DLC, paid weapons, paid heists, raids, whatever you wanna call them. I want you to take the same way of using DLC, heists, missions, raids, whatever, that only the hosts need to have the mission and everybody can join. That's really nice from Payday 2. I'm not sure if it's all because of the niceness of Overkill or is it actually an engine restriction, so please make that, so that would be nice. At this point, this video is mostly me talking to raid devs what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Anyways, price of the game. Depending how many missions are you going to have. I think Payday 2 was 30 euros whenever it launched. It had something like 10 to 15 missions. I don't know, it was a little bit confusing because there were multi-day missions, what counted as one heist and so on. We were promised about 30 heists. That's not exactly how many we got, so don't promise something you can't deliver. Payday 2 had 6 at launch. It was a nice amount because the missions were really big, they were different from each other and really entertaining. So Payday 2 was $20 and Payday the Heist was $20 whenever it launched, or 15, I don't remember. I think it's something like 15 to 20 now. I don't know if they have changed the price, but Payday 2 has dropped from 30 to 20 euros, so it's a little bit lower now, even though the DLC barrier is much higher than the 20 euros, even at sale. So unless your game is going to be much superior, Payday 2 and Payday the Heist, I think the best to go is between 20 and 30 euros as a price. The game engine is old, and as you know yourself, doesn't really look amazing. The graphics are outdated. I'm fine with that. I'm always gameplay over graphics and so on. But most people who just are looking for new games are going to say this game looks 10 years old and are not going to buy it. So it's not going to be a great idea to put it out as a full titled 60 euros price. So something between 20 to 30 euros, I think it's the best, and an option to have like collector's edition for maybe the same price as Payday 2 had, the Career Criminal Edition, whatever, 45 euros or something like that, 50 bucks in US and so on, with something a little bit bonus, maybe the first DLC for free, maybe a little bit cosmetics or something. But no, please don't add something whole new weapon into collector's edition that normal players can't use. I'm fine with skins in collector's edition, cosmetics as like clothes, hats, whatever. Anything that affects gameplay, please don't add that to collector's edition. And there should be a collector's edition upgrade. So if the game is going to be 30 euros, collector's edition is going to be 45. The upgrade should be like 20 euros. The price can be high. It doesn't need to be like worth the 20 euros. It's just more to support the devs. I think that's a fine thing. And mostly what Payday 2 did, it was 15 euros more for whatever first DLC, the soundtrack, as well as the loot pack DLC, which is mask, color pattern, and something else. I don't remember. So that's fine for a little bit extra money, I think. So that's something that Raid World War 2 devs could do as well. First DLC for collector's edition owners for free, soundtrack if they do that, so that would be nice as well. And I do hope that you are going to release a soundtrack just like Payday 2, because soundtracks in video games are mostly really nice to listen to, even outside the video games itself. But yeah, nothing else comes to my mind now really. If there's something else about Raid World 2, more videos, whatever, I'll make sure to make videos out of those. And if there's anything else I want to say about this game, I might do another video of the long talk focusing on Raid World War 2. But for now, that's all for this episode. For anybody who watched until now, hope you guys are having a good day. See you on my next video. Appreciate you watching this video. See you later. Master Indigo signing out.